Right guys, before this review starts, probably the saddest announcement I will ever do in this channel. Nani? What are you talking about, Lucky? Well, you're shutting this channel down, aren't you? If that's the case, I'll let Lyra know that I'm going back to Texas in the next couple of weeks. What gave you that impression? Lucky and I heard you talking about it on Xbox, so explain to us what Project Shiroyama is. Okay, first off, shame on you both for eavesdropping, and second, take a look at this. Okay, this is looking sharp. And what am I seeing here? Well, this is the new logo that the channel and blog is going to be under from now on. Okay, so Project Shiroyama is a partial rebrand and I'm safe? Yes! The channel is going nowhere! Matter of fact, that'll explain the phone call that I received a few days ago from Lyra. Yeah, sorry about that. Lucky? Part of me wants you to force you to go through a punishment game, like Baldi's Basics and Educational Learning, or even worse, Friday Night Funkin'. But seeing as I'm in a good mood, you know, this weekend being my birthday and all, I'll let you off the hook. This time. To all my readers and viewers out there, this is one of the announcements that's under the codename Project Shiroyama will be revealed later on in the week in a blog update. So watch this space guys. Matter of fact, in the words of the loading screen of Wolfenstein 3D, get hyped. One final thing though, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Deck Heavy Baked Malt for the creation of this week's new logo as an extra birthday present to me. With that minor misunderstanding aside, let's get on with this review. Hey everyone, welcome to Toad's Nostalgic Kingdom. Allow us to explain exactly what this is. This new programming block under Project Shiroyama on this channel is in the planning stages for quite a while. Basically every single retro gaming review, that's Xbox 360, PS3 era and back, will be under this programming block from here on out. Now, for the first ever theme of Toad's Nostalgic Kingdom will be read out by Lucky. Okay, Deathmatch, Definition 1. A brutal form of fast-paced, no-holds-barred fight to the death. Nowadays, this competition of natural selection at its finest is now known as free-for-all. The goal in this type of game, in multiplayer games, is very simple. Every man for him or herself. Anything goes, kill or be killed. The first person to reach the required number of kills or the highest number of kills when the time limit expires is the victor. In this game type, you are the first place or dead last. In the first few reviews of Toad's Nostalgic Kingdoms, we will be paying homage to the originators of this game type. And this time, we review one of the finest arena-based shooters on the PS2. Does this gaming live up to this accolade? Let's find out. Before the review kicks off, allow us to introduce and pass on to the PTR's gaming historian, Toad, who's going to be giving us the background of the TimeSplitters franchise. Okay, TimeSplitters. The history of the TimeSplitters series started out with the UK-based developer, at the time under the Nintendo brand. This developer is known as Rare. They have been responsible for the development of cult classic games like Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong Country. One of the most noteworthy titles in the developer's portfolio was GoldenEye. By the way guys, more on that later. As James said in an earlier review, GoldenEye is one of the most revolutionary first-person shooter games to date. This game suits well against a well-known stereotype in the gaming industry at the time. In this case, first-person shooter games belong exclusively on a PC, due to the highly successful PC-only titles released at the time. Quake, released by Texas-based developer id Software, known as ZeniMax Games, now owned by Bethesda, was one of those games which created that stereotype. GoldenEye, on the other hand, took that stereotype, put it in a paper shredder, and shown the world otherwise. Today, GoldenEye is one of the most recognizable launch titles on the Nintendo 64 launch catalog. This game was released on August 25th, 1997. During Perfect Dark's development, numerous key programmers who originally worked on GoldenEye to form their own company. Thus, Free Radical Design was born. Their first game, TimeSplitters, released to the public as a launch title for the massively successful console, the PS2 in 2001. A lot of people consider the original TimeSplitters to be the successor to GoldenEye. Similar to Halo 2, due to the original title's massive commercial success, Free Radical Design immediately worked on a sequel. This particular game was released to the public in 2002. Next up, it's Lucky's turn to read the plot of TimeSplitters 2. Thanks, Seltzer, here we go. The game is set in the year 2041. The humanity is in the midst of the war against a genocidal alien race, the TimeSplitters. You play Sergeant Cortez, a Marine who's tasked in stopping a plan created by the TimeSplitters to use artifacts known as TimeSplitters to go back into our past and alter our timeline. It is up to you to go back to various points in human history, retrieve the time crystals, and stop the TimeSplitters in their tracks. Next up, the accessibility scores are as follows, which is going to be read by James. Right guys, to kick off proceedings, visibility give it 10.5. Although there is no colorblind modes in the game, there is very little need for one. In arcade custom mode, you can customize each and every AI player's team. Also, you can still differentiate the teams by the icon that appears over the player's head. It may not be the best way to differentiate team colors, but it's better than nothing, I guess. In arcade league matches, the team colors are set to red and blue. As I said time and time again, red and blue are not as hard as hit. When it comes to colorblind people, it still needs addressing nonetheless. So a player with a visual impairment will find few issues when playing this game. Next up, Audibility, give it 10. This game has in-game subtitles which can be enabled and disabled via the options menu. Also, during multiplayer matches, on-screen notifications will appear should events happen like 2 minutes left in the match, a player is becoming infected in virus, more on that in a minute, or a player when needs only 5 kills to win the match. So this game is easily playable with a player with a hearing impairment. Next up, mobility has got a sky high 11. The controls can be customized, both button and stick layouts, so the controls can be completely tailored to suit their player's impairment. So a player with a mobility impairment should be able to play this game with ease. Gameplay, I gave an 11. This, my friend, is the best first-person shooters on GameCube. The sheer amount of content contained in this game is massive. As you play through the game, more and more modes and characters and various other content is unlocked. You have your bog standard deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture the bag modes. There are a lot of other modes which can keep the game interesting. For example, Shrink. The player in last place is the smallest, therefore hardest to hit. Virus. The brainchild of Halo's infection mode. If the game begins, one player is set on fire. The player then touches the other players to infect them. The player who survived the longest without getting infected is the victor. This game also has Unreal Tournament Assault mode. Trust me guys, I'm merely scratching the surface here. What's the point of having all these brilliant modes without any half-decent maps to play in, right? This game has a plethora of maps to choose from. For example, a Mexican village, perfect for deathmatch modes, and abandoned hospitals, ideal for virus, to name a few. Sure, the story mode feels a little lackluster, the multiplayer and arcade modes more than enough makes up for it. Also, this game comes with a map maker tool, similar to Halo's Forge mode. In summary, TimeSplitters 2 feels like the upgrade of Unreal Tournament. being the successor to the genre-defining first-person shooter GoldenEye, it seems like big shoes to fill, while Free Radical Design has succeeded and then some. A copy of this game may seem a little hard to find, but the experience of playing this game makes the effort worth it. I seriously cannot recommend this game enough to you, and the overall score is a massive 106.25%. See you guys in the next review. Spartan Commander 1990 out. Roll out, Spartan Legion.